Here's one of the most intriguing Bigfoot sightings I've come across recently. A drone operator was flying over a remote forest when something unusual appeared at the edge of the camera's view. The drone struggled to stay stable, and near the end, the camera got stuck in a tree, so we never got a full, clear view of the creature. Still, even in the partial footage, a large, upright figure is clearly visible, standing almost completely still among the trees. Its posture and size immediately stand out, and it almost looks like it's patiently watching its surroundings, as if waiting or searching for something. Some Bigfoot videos online feel unclear or staged, but this one doesn't. The drone captured a tall, dark figure that barely moves, shifting slightly now and then as if sniffing or inspecting the ground. You can make out broad shoulders, long arms, and a slightly hunched posture that doesn't match any known animal. Definitely not a bear. The stillness and partial view make it feel like the creature is aware of its surroundings, maybe foraging or simply observing quietly. We don't get the full picture, but even these few seconds are enough to make you pause and wonder, could this be actual Bigfoot walking in the forest? Here's a striking Bigfoot sighting from October 2012 in Provo Canyon, Utah. According to the video, a large dark figure is seen at first sitting quietly, seemingly searching for food. The forest around it is calm, but the creature's sheer size immediately draws attention. As the clip progresses, it rises to its full height on both legs, standing upright and looking directly toward the camera.
Yeah, I can't see it. Yeah, we probably should be too close to it, huh? Oh, cool though. Just go.
The reaction from the campers is immediate. They start running, leaving behind personal belongings and even their tents in the rush to escape. Some Bigfoot videos can feel staged or exaggerated, but this one looks genuinely intense. The figure's sudden movement from a seated position to standing upright is natural, and its posture is unmistakably humanoid. The fact that it holds its gaze on the camera for several seconds adds to the sense that it is aware of the observers. You can almost imagine the thought process behind its actions. Maybe startled, maybe simply curious. But the immediate flight of the campers speaks volumes about how imposing the creature appeared. Even without seeing the full context, the clip conveys a real sense of scale, presence, intention that makes this sighting especially compelling. Here's a curious Bigfoot sighting that took place in October 2023 in Colorado, while riding the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad through the mountains. Tourists Shannon and Stetson Parker spotted something strange moving on a distant hillside as they were looking for elk during their scenic trip. The couple grabbed their cameras and managed to capture both photos and video of a large, hairy, upright figure walking along the side of the mountain before crouching or sitting down to rest in the open terrain. They later shared the footage on social media, claiming the creature was at least 6 to 7 feet tall and appeared camouflaged against the sagebrush when it crouched.
It's an elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down.
Where at?
Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
I guess stand up.
Some viewers noted that at first the figure seems to move naturally on 2 legs before settling down as the train passes by. Shannon and Stetson say the moment was so unexpected that most passengers didn't even notice, and they were left stunned by what they saw. While some believe this could be evidence of an unknown creature, others have suggested it might be a person in camouflage or a staged sighting. Debates online continue. Here's a wild Bigfoot sighting that reportedly took place in a swamp near Tampa, Florida. A man named Matt was canoeing through Lettuce Lake Park when he noticed something moving through a gator-infested area of the swamp. At first, he assumed it was a bear and started filming from a distance. But this immediately raised questions, since the park is known for having very few, if any, bear sightings, especially deep in swampy terrain like this. What he captured on video shows a dark figure walking through the water, before eventually diving beneath the surface and disappearing. footage more closely, this doesn't behave like a bear at all. The arms appear unusually long, swinging low as the figure moves, and its gait looks smooth and deliberate. Bears can stand on two legs, but this movement doesn't match typical bear behavior, especially in deep swamp water. What makes this even more unsettling is the location. This area is full of large alligators and water moccasins. Matt himself pointed out that if this were a person, they'd have to be completely reckless to move through the swamp like that. According to him, the creature seemed to notice his presence, moved toward deeper water, went completely underwater, and never resurfaced. Whatever this was, it handled the swamp with ease, which makes this sighting especially hard to explain. Here's a reported Bigfoot sighting from October 2020, captured on a wildlife surveillance camera in western Alberta, Canada. The camera was originally installed by biologists to track wolf movement in a remote forested area with very low human activity. Instead, it recorded something completely unexpected: a large, dark, furry figure moving slowly behind a tree. This was the second reported Bigfoot sighting in Alberta that year, with multiple others reported in the region in recent years. The area itself is known for having plenty of prey and very little human presence, making it an ideal environment for a large, elusive creature. Looking closely at the footage, the creature's size immediately stands out. It appears to be extremely tall and wide, with proportions that don't match a typical bear. While some suggested it could be a bear standing upright, the upper body looks more like a humanoid, or even gorilla-like shape, especially the head and shoulders. The way it moves is slow and deliberate, stepping carefully from foot to foot rather than shuffling or charging. Interestingly, earlier footage from the same camera shows two deer passing through the area and suddenly fleeing, leading some to believe the creature may have been lying in wait. Whether this was a predator watching its surroundings or something else entirely, the footage raises some unsettling questions. Here's a brief but unsettling Bigfoot sighting shared on Reddit. According to the post, a man's father had a short encounter while driving through Rochester, Washington. As he was traveling down the road, he noticed something dark standing near the roadside. The figure was only visible for a moment, but it was close enough to catch attention before the car passed by. The video attached to the post shows a black, unclear shape positioned just off the road, partially blending into the surrounding trees. Some roadside sightings are easy to dismiss, but this one is interesting because of how the figure is positioned. It appears tall and upright, standing still rather than moving like a typical animal, startled by a passing vehicle. The shape doesn't resemble a deer or bear, and its dark silhouette contrasts sharply with the background. The brief nature of the encounter actually adds to its realism. There's no dramatic buildup, just a sudden moment where something clearly shouldn't be there. It's the kind of sighting that lasts only a second, but stays in your mind much longer. In late October 2020, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization received this footage from Logan Canyon, Utah. As per the witness, he and his son were driving through a popular rifle hunting area when they spotted a dark figure walking along a creek bed while he assumed this was a hunter. He couldn't explain why they were wearing all brown during an active rifle hunt, especially given that it's illegal to not wear a certain amount of orange. Nevertheless, the witness didn't stop to investigate, since he was due to attend a meeting, still curious. However, he and his son revisited the scene. A few days later, concurring to this, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team arrived unannounced together. They attempted to gauge the size of the subject, using a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound man as a reference point. They estimated that the figure was 7 feet, 28 inches tall, and twice as wide. Here's a daylight Bigfoot sighting from October 26th, 2022, filmed near Baxter, Tennessee, close to Silver Point. The footage was recorded on private property by the landowner just inside the tree line. What makes this clip stand out is the lighting. It's broad daylight, with clear visibility of the surrounding area. The figure appears briefly near the edge of the woods, partially obscured by branches before moving deeper into the trees. The video was later uploaded by Clay Shiner and quickly sparked discussion in the comments.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Valley, do you see that? Do you see that?
Watching the footage closely, the proportions of the figure are what really stand out. The arms appear unusually long, especially in the moment where it reaches out and grabs a branch, something several viewers pointed out in the comments. The movement looks controlled and natural, not rushed or panicked, and the posture stays upright the entire time. It doesn't move like a bear or any other known wildlife in the area. Even though the clip is short, the combination of daylight, clear surroundings, and those long, swinging arms makes this sighting particularly interesting. Here's a well-known Bigfoot encounter from Russia, recorded in 2015, often referred to locally as an Almasty sighting. According to the people who filmed it, their family has reported encounters with this creature on their property for generations, with stories dating back as far as the 1700s. In the footage, a large, dark, humanoid figure is seen moving in the distance near a wooded area, partially obscured by terrain and vegetation. The setting is remote and rural, adding to the sense that this isn't a place where you'd expect to see a person wandering around unnoticed.
Смотри, ветки шатаются. Смотри. О, побежал! Я заснял его! Чтоб не испугать его, пошли. Я заснял! Смотри. Ё-моё! Где-то килограмм 200 весит. Угу. Видел, как он своими лапами машет? Смотри, вон. 2 метра рост. Ё! Я боюсь. Надо отдать эту съемку в НТВ.
What makes this video especially interesting is the historical context behind it. In the Caucasus and surrounding regions, Almasty legends go back centuries, long before modern Bigfoot reports. The figure in the video appears tall and upright, with proportions that don't resemble known wildlife, and it moves with a slow, deliberate gait. While the footage itself is brief and not perfectly clear, the consistency between the family's long-standing claims and what's captured on camera raises questions. Whether this is a continuation of an old local legend or something genuinely unexplained, the encounter fits surprisingly well with traditional Almasty descriptions. Here's an interesting Bigfoot photo story shared on Reddit, reportedly taken near Mount Shasta. While visiting the area, the poster struck up a conversation with a local tour guide and jokingly asked if he'd ever had a Bigfoot encounter. To their surprise, the guide said yes, and described an incident from about 5 years earlier. He had been taking a photo of a friend after a long hike near the summit, and nothing seemed unusual at the time. It wasn't until later, when reviewing the photo, that they noticed a strange figure barely visible in the background, standing just inside the tree line. The image shared online is a zoomed-in crop of that original photo, focusing only on the figure. Looking at the image, the figure appears dark and humanoid, partially obscured by trees, making it easy to miss at our first glance. What adds weight to the story is the guide's reaction. He wasn't dramatic or trying to impress anyone. He simply stated that he believes in Bigfoot. He also mentioned spending a lot of time snowboarding in the Mount Shasta backcountry and having repeated experiences where he felt watched. sometimes catching brief glimpses of glowing eyes in his peripheral vision that would vanish as soon as he turned to look. On their own, these moments are easy to dismiss, but combined with the photo, they paint a picture that feels unsettlingly consistent with many reports from the area. This video is perhaps one of the most impressive recordings I've ever seen. A man living in a remote area deep within Kentucky Ridge Forest claims he has been troubled by these Bigfoot-like creatures. Finally, early one morning before heading to work, he managed to capture one of them on camera. Of course, the video quality isn't great, but it is clear that the figure is very tall. It doesn't behave like a person in a costume. It moves like a massive bipedal ape.
Are you joking right now? Be in the house, peoples.
Monroe County. A new Bigfoot sighting in Monroe County, Michigan, is being considered credible. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, has begun investigating the incident reported on May 18th by Edward Henry and his 12-year-old son. While fishing near Plum Creek, the father and son said they first heard rustling, followed by a loud thud. They then claimed to have seen a strange creature about 8 feet tall with a hairy back and big buttocks. The sighting occurred near a jail and a quarry. So, did Edward and his son truly encounter Bigfoot that day? What do you think about the footage? And to wrap things up, this is the final case in today's video, the full Freeman footage, one of the most discussed Bigfoot recordings out there. Unlike the short, edited clip most people know, this version shows the entire sequence leading up to the sighting. The footage captures Paul Freeman documenting large tracks on the ground, explaining where they lead, and talking through his thought process as he follows them toward a water source. By the time the sighting happens, there's already context, build-up, and a clear sense of why he's in that area.
This is some of those little ones' tracks that's in here. I come back up here today to cast these. About 9 inches long. Went right up this old trail. Run around up there to his mommy, I guess. And there's 4 little tracks there. And .32 inches between the stride there. I don't know how. Looks like he's pretty fresh. Yeah, I'll go around this bush here, see what's going on here. Oh yeah, here's where. Yeah, here he's come down. Oh shit, he's come down and went back up both. Oh, there he goes. Jesus. get up here where I can see him real quick.
What makes this footage so compelling is Freeman himself. His reactions feel genuine. The excitement, the tension, and the disbelief all come across naturally. When the figure finally appears, the way it moves suggests real weight and mass, something that's hard to fake convincingly. Many viewers have pointed out that the physics of the movement don't match a human in a costume. While no video is ever beyond skepticism, this full version adds important details that are missing from the shortened clips, making it one of the strongest and most complete Bigfoot encounters ever recorded. That's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm curious what you think about these sightings. Which one stood out to you the most, and do you think any of them could be the real thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.